You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
In 1922, on the 28th of June, Mr. Gordon Selfridge stood here, outside number 155 Regent Street, to mark the opening of a new shop, but not a shop of his. He talked this up as a great location for what he called this new entrant in the broad world of business. A good position is one of the great secrets of success in business, he said, and no organisation in the country is more deserving of that position than St Dunstan's. He was stood next to Lady Pearson, president of the charity that her late husband, Sir Arthur Pearson, had founded in the early days of the First World War to provide rehabilitation and training for those blinded in war, and the chairman, Ian Fraser, who had been blinded at the Somme and came to St Dunstan's initially as a service user. What the charity was fundamentally trying to do was return those blinded in the war to independent living and self-reliance, which meant training them in a trade. The men, who might have been miners or farm labourers before the war, were retrained in the St Dunstan's workshops to be joiners and bootmakers, to make mats and baskets, and indeed the wooden trays with which the charity became associated. Craft work like this could be a kind of occupational therapy, but it was also important that it be useful work, something the St Dunstaners, as they were known, could make a living from. Unlike some other disability charities with similar craft workshops, after their training they were expected to financially support themselves. After leaving, and most did leave, they received lifelong support of various kinds, but the amount they earned was starkly linked to the sale of their goods. To that end, they stressed the quality of the items. Many of these men opened their own shops all over the country, and these needed to be credible businesses. But for those who were still resident with the charity, those without their own shop, or that had produced more than they could sell, the flagship store here was important for them in finding a market. And it was a good location for it. Shortly after Mr. Selfridge had made this point at the grand opening, the newly appointed sales manager wrote, "This thoroughfare has been acclaimed by judges as the finest shopping street in Europe, and when the remaining buildings have been altered to conform to the Renaissance style, there is no doubt that very few streets in the world will be able seriously to challenge its supremacy." And they continued to make use of this location even after they closed for the evening. The lights in the window were left on until they were automatically turned off at midnight to promote the charity and its shop to theatregoers. And he also gave an account of the look of the shop inside. Mahogany fitments provide an admirable setting for the pulp, cane and willow basket work, while the walls, being a soft neutral tint, form a background which enhances the delightful colours of the cable and turkey wool rugs which were hung thereon. Many a visitor, after making a purchase, has declared the showroom to be one of the most artistically arranged in London. But the question they faced was how to frame the idea of buying from a blind charity. A lot of effort went into guaranteeing high quality and that the craft items they sold could be bought without it being an act of charity. Yet customers perusing, or even just people passing by, could be in no doubt about the charitable nature of this shop. Under the main sign for St Dunstan's shop was a prominent declaration that they were the Soldiers and Sailors Aftercare Organisation. Their motto, "Victory over Blindness," was emblazoned across the window when they first opened, above an elegant display of baskets. Another window display of theirs went into more detail. "All the goods in this window have been made by soldiers, sailors, and airmen blinded in the Great War. They are strong, well-finished, and good value. The proof by sales that their work is appreciated is a great encouragement to them. Then the biggest and boldest message simply read, "Buy something today. One good turn deserves another." The shop continued until the 1960s, although the retail operation went on into the 1980s through a mail order catalogue. And this, of course, gave an opportunity to elaborate on how customers could give a helping hand. Every mat, rug, basket, etc., purchased from the blinded soldiers of St Dunstan's gives the maker fresh courage and hope to carry on through his life of darkness. Your purchase, at a competitive price, secures him the cherished possession of his independence and the satisfying knowledge that he is capable of earning a living despite his affliction. This was a charity shop, but a very different kind from the second-hand fundraising shops we know so well today.